Today we're finally doing our Battlefield 6 weapon tier list. After mastering every single gun in the game with over 700 hours in Battlefield 6, being ranked among the top 8 in the world for kills, it is time for me to finally make this video, since you guys have been asking since the beginning of time, basically since you guys actually found my channel. So this is going to be the weapon tier list. I recorded all of this on stream today. Yesterday. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to leave a like. I don't really like asking that, but this did take a very long time to make. It's been in the process for about the last 12 hours. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could leave a like and maybe a comment, because it will help reach more people that might not understand the game that well. So yeah, enjoy. Goodbye. All right, yeah, we're all on the same page. So I put the M433 in A as well. At long range, it falls off pretty harshly, and the M433 also has a bit of a recoil issue at long range. So it is not an S tier weapon. It is definitely a solid A for those reasons specifically. But it's like a very all-around good gun. This competes with the SG553, the QBZ, other ARs. It's got no problems, right? B36 is gonna be, well, the G36 is gonna be in the B tier. Big reason why it's not an A tier weapon is because it does everything good. It does everything good, not great. It's one of the guns that has a moderate fire rate. It's accurate, but not too accurate. And at long ranges, you could still hold down the trigger, but you're gonna miss some shots. The B36 isn't as viable as, say, the M433 when it comes to close range and medium range, because it shoots a little slower and it's a little less accurate. But at farther ranges, it becomes a better weapon. You just have to get to the farther ranges, which is why it's a B tier weapon. The other reason why is because it's a 5-shot kill. It's a 5-shot kill 99% of the time in every gunfight. The next gun is the Cord, and I'm actually putting this in B tier. The reason why the Cord's not A tier is because it suffers from damage at range, meaning you're going to be in a gunfight a lot longer than the M433 and the B36 when it comes to range, because these two guns will do more damage. This gun, it's 900 ROF literally creates a chance for it to actually like melt people in the close range. Like it ends up competing with a lot of the 3-shot weapons just from the sheer fact that it shoots so fast. Like you'll beat the NVO a lot of times using the AK, or not the AK, the Cord. Outside of the NVO's 3-shot range, the Cord's gonna win because it shoots so fast. Well, yeah, exactly. At range, it gets a little rough, but if you put it on burst, you don't get any bloom at range. So it actually ends up making it good. That would move it up to A tier if it was a burst weapon, but it's not. So it's a B tier weapon because most people don't even use the burst, and most people would just default to holding down the trigger, which means you're gonna miss more shots. And then you get into the category of the B36 at range. So for me, it's a B tier weapon, like low B tier though. And then we come to the NVO. I can't bring my NVO C tier. Its selling point is its 3-shot range and its accuracy. But after the patch, the accuracy got shafted at longer ranges, and its fire rate, yeah, the ROF is 654, which is in between the B36 and the TR7. The damage model thrives off of its 3-shot range, and its precision is only 26. So when you take that into account, and you go into a medium-ranged gunfight, guess who's losing most of those gunfights? The NVO to every other AR in the game, except for the SOR, because that gun is just dog. You guys already know where I stand on the AK-4D. This gun is so good. There's no reason for this to not be S tier. This is, yeah, obviously this is our first S tier weapon in the list. AK-40 is up here because it's 3 shots up close, up to 20 meters. So if you're playing properly and not sprinting around like an absolute madman, you're gonna be able to actually utilize it because it's up to 20 meters where it's a 3-shot kill. Second, this gun is 4-shot at all ranges, just like the M60 and the TR7, with a pretty slow fire rate. Yes, caveats the really slow fire rate on the gun. But if you build it correctly, this thing is a laser beam. And in single fire at long distances, hitting 4 shots, you're basically rivaling an SVK if you're shooting consistently. S tier. I've said enough. We all know this is the best, one of the best guns in the game. I don't have to say it again. I take my leave. TR7 A tier. TR7 is A tier because its 3-shot range is the same, up to 20 meters. Its ROF is its downfall because it only holds up to 20 bullets, just like the AK-4D. But the downfall is it shoots way too fast that you don't actually get to utilize the gun properly. And it has an extreme amount of recoil, which makes it a non-beginner friendly weapon, unlike the AK-4D, the B-36, and the Cord, that are all pretty much beginner friendly weapons. Because of the damage model and how the weapon works, the TR7 is an A tier weapon. One of the highest TTKs in the game, depends on the build. I totally agree with that. The only thing is it's not a very solid all-arounder. Like, it just doesn't fit the niche for me properly. It's actually, it's a good gun. I just can't, for me personally, I agree with like the sentiment of S tier, but because it's not, like, I'll put this at the top of A tier. This will be at the top of A tier, pretty much A++, right? The thing is, for me, I can't put it in S tier because it's just not consistent enough. The thing is, at all ranges, you have to take it into account, and it has very low precision, and its recoil is extreme. Because if you do master the gun, like genuinely master the gun, S tier for sure, but not everyone's gonna be able to do that. That's why it's A tier. Again, though, this all comes down to preference. What do you guys prefer to use, right? For the guy that mastered the TR7, that's his S tier weapon, right? For the guy that loves the AK-4D for the looks and the fact that it has the same damage model as the TR7, S tier. L85 is B tier. So far, bottom of the B tier. Reason being, is it's just like the B36. It's just like the B36. It is an all-arounder, except it's slightly less effective as the B36. When I say slightly, it is way less effective, but it is a fun gun to use, and it's like a good in-between if you just want something to feel good and you don't want to use something overpowered, and you don't want to use something that makes you play super aggressive because you kind of want to just hang out and use a moderately good gun. That is the L85. And we're going to move on to the SOR 556 Mark II. I don't really have to explain myself. This is the worst AR in the game. It's not a bad gun, but it's not good. The gold scar from Fortnite is better than this. So this is the 357 trait. I would put this. So this pistol is an A tier pistol. The 357 trait is good. But it's like the NVO, the TR7, and the AK-4D. Well, not the AK-4D. It's like the NVO and the SG-553, where it has that sweet spot where it's a 2-shot kill up close, but it's less than 10 meters, and outside of that, the damage fall off gets a little extreme. I've noticed there were more times where I had to 4-shot kill someone with this pistol than I actually got to utilize a 3-shot kill distance, and it was very rare for me to get a 2-shot kill. So for me, this is a A-tier pistol at the bottom of A tier against all of these guns. It's a high A-tier pistol against all of the other pistols in the game, but against every gun in the game, I mean, it's an A-tier pistol. There's no way to say it. M44 is S tier. Only S tier pistol. It is a 2-shot kill so far away, especially with hollow points making it a 1-shot headshot. I think it's what, 20 meters? Is it 20 meters or 15? It's like 15 to 20 meters. It's a 1-shot headshot. You put a short barrel on it, and all you have to do is hip fire, and it is very consistent with its hip fire. Yeah, it's the one pistol to rule them all. It is phenomenal. It is the best pistol in the game for sure. It's like, it has to be S tier. It is the one gun in the class that makes you think, why the fuck is it this good? And the 1911 is going to be right behind the 357 trait in A tier. This pistol is very good. It basically follows the same damage model as the 357 trait, which is why it's up here and why I like it. The 1911 has the same damage model as the trait, pretty much. 3 shots up close. It can't 2-shot, which is why the trait's a little better. It 3 shots up close, up until like 15 meters to 20 meters. And then after and beyond that, it's 4 to 6 shots. And it gets really bad, but it's a pistol. And also, the reason why the pistols are going in A tier is I'm kind of talking about the pistols like they're in their own tier, which is why I'm putting them high up. But I've also played with these, and these 3 pistols are very good at 100 to 0ing players in the game. You can run around with the M44, the 357 trait, and the 1911. As a good player, you can be on the top of the scoreboard with these pistols alone, which is why they are up here. And then we come to the P18. That's when we start dropping down. P18, way too many shots to kill, hardly any damage. Effective as a sidearm, but nowhere near as effective as these 3. The trait, the 1911, and the M44. There's like almost no reason to put on the P18 unless you like the P18. And then this guy is D tier, the ES 5.7, because the ES 5.7 is hands down the worst pistol in the game in F tier. The GGH is D tier. Forgot that. The GGH is D tier. It sucks. Okay. Moving on. I hate to do this. It's a good gun. It's bottom S tier. This is going to be the last place in S tier. M4A1 is S tier because it is viable in almost every situation in this game. Close range, far range, it does not matter. This gun's gonna fight the shit out of you. Now, the farther the range, the less effective it's going to be. I baited you guys the other day by saying I think it's A tier. It obviously suffers from bloom, but it's like, its disgusting ass fire rate is what saves this gun. So the other thing you have to take into account when it comes to carbines is you can use this on every class without losing any sort of effect. So not only can you use this on assault, you can use it on recon, support, and engineer. You can use this on anything you want, and sometimes depending on the class that you put it on, it makes it a better gun. Like putting this on recon can be a better gun. I know they nerfed it and it's still good. It's like I don't even understand how it's like actually this viable still, because it's like 6 to 7 shots to kill after 20 meters, but it's still good. That's gonna lead us into the SOR 300 SC, which honest, I have no fucking idea where to put this. I used this for a little bit last night and I just can't tell. It's 3 shots up until 10 meters like the other guns in the game, and beyond that it's dog shit. I don't know enough about this gun. I have to put it lower. I would say it's better than the SOR 556 though, so I'm gonna put this in C tier instead of D tier. It doesn't belong, like this gun is bottom of the barrel when it comes to guns in the game because there's so many guns that do it better than it. So 556 is staying in D by itself right now. The reason why it's going up a little bit is because it does have that 3-shot damage range, but also I was using it yesterday and it's a very good run and gun weapon. It's better than the pistol. All right, we'll keep the pistol at the bottom, obviously. This gun just doesn't have its own identity because it's stripped from the 556, and it's an in-between of an SMG and an AR with a very slow fire rate and a harsh damage drop-off. So the gun effectively does nothing good, but nothing too bad to where it's an ass weapon. It just doesn't do anything that good. So now we're going to move on to the M417. So the M417 has the same damage model as the NVO, but it's more accurate, holds less ammo, and has less bloom. M417 is slightly above the NVO because it is the same gun damage-wise, but accuracy-wise, it is better. It does what the NVO can't do. It's accurate. Legitimately, the only thing this gun suffers from is its ammo capacity. I don't think this gun's bad at all. It has 650. It has the same ROF, 654. It is basically identical to this gun, except it has more precision. It has less bloom. Like it's basically identical to it. So I'm moving up to B tier. M417 is a B weapon. It's a solid gun. It's a favorite of mine, but I know where it falls. It can't be better than the ARs, obviously. The GRTBC is A tier because it obviously doesn't step up to the plate as heavy as the M4A1, but it is a strong ass gun. Which, one, why I made that video when I mastered it, talking about why everyone should start using this gun. The only thing I don't like about the gun is that it's left-handed recoil, so you have to pull down to the right. SG553 is an A tier. I'm not giving it S. I think it belongs in B, but it is an A tier weapon because it is very strong in the medium to close range. The problem is outside of that, it falls off like a truck hit it. Now, you can obviously use this on every class, so you have to take into account that when it comes to a carbine, it is effective on every class in the game, which just ultimately makes it better than obviously like class-specific weapons that get better with each class that you use it in. It is an A tier weapon, but that damage range is, I mean, there's nothing else I could say about it. Like I've talked about it a lot. If you guys want more information on the gun, I have the SG video on the channel. I recommend watching that. But it's an A tier weapon. It's low A tier. And then obviously the QBZ, everyone loves the QBZ, but I don't think it's that good. I believe the QBZ is a B tier, high B tier weapon, as in like the highest in the B tier that you can get under the cord, because it doesn't do anything special. It's kind of just there. I wouldn't put it in C tier because it is better than those guns at other things. Like accuracy wise, at range, it is better than the 3 guns in C. It's just there. It exists, exactly. But it's more accurate than the B36 and the L85. It's a very fast firing, accurate gun. I'm not gonna put it lower than that. I think it's fine where it is, but it's just the gun that's there. There's nothing really special about it. Like it doesn't scream, use me, I'm that fucking good. It's just there. It's happy with where it is. There's not enough information on the gun either because it's that kind of gun. It's the Timu gun, right? So like you're just there. Then we move on to the most consistent gun in the list for carbines, and that's going to be the M277. It's a 4-shot kill at every single range, has a really fast fire rate. The only problem is its bloom at extreme distances. It still hits. It still hits. Even at those ranges, it still hits. This guy is so it's so good. And like you're only holding down the trigger up to 50 meters, right? It's not like you're trying to tap fire there. And then at 70 meters, tap firing pretty fast and accurately, just like that, it becomes one of the best ARs. It's definitely better than the M4A1, so I'm gonna move it up. This gun's my personal favorite, or one of my personal favorites within the game. And I think everyone agrees on that. I think everyone loves the M277 in this game. And you can change the build up a lot. You could put on the 30 round mag if you want and forfeit some attachments somewhere along the lines. Other than that, it's fine. Yeah, it is the best carbine, no questions asked. And the AK-205 coming in right there in D tier, right smack in the middle of the C tier. Sorry, it's not F. I can't put it in F tier. It's not good. I mean, it's not bad. There's no way you guys are saying this is an F tier weapon. If anything, the Scar is the F tier weapon in this game. Hear me out. The reason why it's C tier is because it's 7 shots to kill. Obviously, we all understand the idea. We all understand the idea of the AK-205, whether we want to or not, with the rage bait aside. It is made for the extreme distances. And there's no gun that does this better than the AK-205 at like 75 meters. You're really not gonna miss. The thing is, with the fast fire rate, no recoil, and no bloom, it's a super effective medium ranged weapon, but it just doesn't do enough damage, which puts it in the C tier. Like if it did 5 shots to kill at the same range as other ARs in the game, this gun would be the best gun in the game, hands down. This would be better than the Cord. This would be better than half of the ARs. So because it does a lot of things good but low damage, it's got to go to C tier, right smack in the middle. I genuinely don't think there's a better spot for it or a worse spot for it, because it belongs there. It is your, if you know how to use the gun, it's a great gun, but most people just prefer to use a better weapon. But that's my take on the 205. I feel like it's pretty solid. So SCW, this is where we get a little interesting. We're gonna start off with the SCW. SCW's S. Yeah, it is highly sought after as one of the best SMGs in the game because it does everything right. It's the triple S. This gun is the most broken thing in the game because of how straight it shoots, how strong it is at every range, especially for an SMG, and just the fact that you don't need to try with this gun. You just walk around with it. I've been beat by this gun so many times for no reason in gunfights where it shouldn't. No, it's not even borderline broken. The SCW is broken. This gun beats everything. Obviously, until you get to like the farther ranges, but like that'll bring us to the MP7 is definitely down here in the C tier. It has sort of like, it's a weird gun. I love it because it's a laser beam, but it doesn't do enough damage in the close range to actually be an effective SMG as opposed to the other SMGs in the game. It's the little brother. Yeah, it's literally the little brother of the AK-205 just as an SMG. It is a very fun gun. I love this gun. It's a personal favorite, but like realistically off of how it functions in the game, it belongs here. It's not the strongest. It's not a standout gun. It's just a fun gun to run around with. And that makes it C tier, in my opinion. It does a lot of things right, but you're not winning many gunfights with this unless you're abusing synthetic ammo, as in hitting headshot upon headshot upon headshot, using a hipfire build so you can actually win close range gunfights by being a movement demon. It's just not the gun for a do-it-all type of SMG, whereas opposed to the SGX being a very high A tier weapon, I would put it above the GRT. The SGX has got to be one of the better all-arounders for SMGs, simply because it's good in the close range and it's really good in the far range. Yeah, yes, the MP5 basically does the same thing. The only difference is the SGX fire rate make it what it is, and obviously like having no bloom and then having max mobility on top of that, so when you're ADS'd and strafing side to side, you're not gonna get sniped. You're going to be able to fight the sniper trying to snipe you with an SGX halfway across the map because of how good it is. But I think the SGX belongs here because of how strong it is. It's good at everything. It's like the perfect amount of great at everything that it wants to do. Whereas the SCW is just like busted. We're going to move on to the MP5. That is just under the SGX because it's not as good in the close range, but it's really good in medium to far because of its fire rate. And obviously fucking accuracy is like beyond belief. Like, it is so fucking good at shooting straight at everything possible. It belongs right behind it because it doesn't shoot as fast. Personally, I know it's like the meta weapon for SMGs almost, but after using the SGX for the last 2 days, I believe it's better than the MP5 just because it can handle the close range a lot better than the MP5 can handle the close range. But the MP5 definitely handles farther ranges a lot better than the SGX. It's just the SGX is that good close to medium to far ranged weapon that works in every scenario, whereas the MP5 kind of doesn't work that good in close range. The UMP is D tier. It is essentially the SOR of the SMG class. I mean, it is a gun that shoots extremely straight, but does not do enough damage to actually do anything in the game. It 1000% belongs in the D tier, but it is basically the SOR of the SMG class. It shoots straight. It doesn't do enough damage. Most of your gunfights that you're going to win are when the enemy when the enemy isn't looking at you. That's when you're going to win a lot of these gunfights. That's why it's a D tier weapon. I wish it would get like a moderate fire rate buff, but that would help it a lot. It's just not it. I think this can shoot 45 ACP. I'm assuming they chose the 9mm version of it though, which is why it's not a 3-shot kill. It should be. You don't see anyone running around with it. I was using it last night for a little bit and I was getting a little frustrated with it. It was fun to use, but I noticed that my playstyle was more catered to hiding and waiting than it was to just like playing normally with all the other guns that are up higher with it, right? Like, it was more catered to using it like an AK-205, but without the fire rate, it wasn't comparable. So it's a D tier. It's D tier. The SL9 though, SL9 is going to be B tier, and another gun that's very similar to the SL9 is also going to be in B tier. SL9 is B tier because it takes what the UMP wants to be and actually utilizes it properly by giving it a better fire rate, less recoil, less bloom, and becomes a gun that kind of is easy to use in all situations. I can see it being C tier, which is why it's at the bottom of B tier. The reason why I put it in B tier is because it's actually really good in the close, the medium, and the far range. If you throw a thermal on this gun, it's extremely good. The only thing is there's way better guns in the game that utilize thermals and that utilize the same type of damage model and same fire rate with the same gimmick of no bloom at far ranges. There's another gun. That's a B tier gun, just simply from the fact that it's mediocre at doing everything, right? It's not mediocre. It's okay at doing everything. If you've noticed, most of the B tier weapons are okay at doing everything. QBZ is okay at doing everything. The B36 is middle of the road. The L85 is middle of the road. The only one that isn't is the Cord. This is just effective, and the M417 is just better than the NVO. That's why it's here, because it's effective at doing things okayly. Our friend the P90, where am I placing this? So the P90, it's got a 900 ROF at 20 damage, which is basically the Cord. It's the Cord with better hip fire, better mobility, and slightly worse precision. It's a free 50 round mag. It is the Cord, right? It's basically the Cord of the SMG world. It's the same gun. I don't need to actually explain that because, yeah. No grip option kind of sucks though. I agree with that, but with the light and suppressor, it helps stop the recoil buildup. It's a B tier gun. I understand a lot of the no grip thing, but the gun is essentially the Cord with a bigger mag off rip and just a slightly worse time to kill than the Cord because it's a 7-shot instead of a 6-shot at all ranges. That doesn't impact the gun that much with 900 ROF. Yeah, the horizontal recoil is bad on the P90, but the P90 is a hip fire gun. It's a get the in there and shoot the shit out of everyone. That's why there's no grip on it, because it's supposed to be utilized as the hip fire gun of the game. The KV9's A tier. So KV9's in A tier. It competes with the SCW in close range because it has a 1000 ROF. It ends up feeling like a 3-shot TTK weapon, but it's not. I think it's 4 or 5 shots, but because it shoots so fast, it is good at that. And with the same ammo capacity, you have to forfeit a grip for the higher mag. A lower ammo capacity, it becomes really difficult to kill more than 2 people for the most part because it shoots so fast, but it's capable of fighting at longer distances, which is why it's not S tier. It's an A tier weapon. It just doesn't do it well because it doesn't have enough ammo. That's the reason why I'm putting it in A tier. Now we're going to move on to the DMRs. The first one is the EMR, and this guy is going to be C tier. It's C tier because you have to get to level 40 for hollow points pretty much. When you get hollow points, this DMR becomes high B tier, but you need the hollow points and you need to be good at the game to actually hit the headshots to make it worth it. I have so many experience with this gun where I'm two-shot killing people halfway across the map. You need to play with it for hours on end to even get it that good. Personally, it's high C tier. I don't think it's B tier. This gun is in C tier, and I'm putting it right in between the NVO and the 205. We're moving on to the LMR. It's not a DMR. It's a fake gun. It has no identity. You see more success with the LMR as a battle rifle hybrid for the assault rifle class. I wouldn't use this as a DMR. I build the LMR, and if you look at my LMR, I build it like it's an assault rifle with a 1X, a laser, the stubby for faster ADS, a 25, the 15 round fast, basic, and flash hider. Yeah, I build it as an AR. This gun is like effectively useless, but it belongs in D because it doesn't compare to the DB12 or the EF. And we're gonna move on to the SVK. That's where the SVK belongs. I know a lot of people don't like it, and even my video where I said I hate this gun, but it is a two-shot weapon at all ranges. You can put a 10x scope on this with no glint and kill snipers across the map, and they will have no idea where they're dying from. This gun is hands down one of the most broken things in the fucking game because of that. I think this should be the only DMR that gets sniper glint on it when aiming in because of how strong it actually is. It is disgusting. And I don't even want to forget to mention, you put on hollow points and shoot someone within 20 to 30 meters, guess what? It's a one tap. You're getting a sniper out of this gun in the close range. So if you put a 4x scope on this thing, you're killing everyone like you have a sniper in your hand, but it aims in faster, it's more accurate, it has hardly any bloom, and it has more shots at your fingertips because you don't have to bolt it back and shoot again. And then you have the SVDM, which is the only A tier DMR in the game. Off rip, 3 shots to kill. Add hollow points to it when you get them at like level 30 or 40. Becomes a 2-shot kill, close range with a red dot on. Super effective, moderate fire rate, easy to control, very fun gun to use. My favorite hands down DMR in the game. This is what a DMR should be in the game. The SVK is basically a sniper rifle. They should just move that over. This is the only real DMR in this game, which is why it's A tier, because they actually nailed the profile of what it's supposed to be, in my opinion. The LMG class is actually really funny. So M250 is up top in A tier. This thing's a fucking laser beam at all ranges. The only problem with it is it's 50 round magazine, but if you're not an LMG player or like someone that really wants a 200 round mag, it is so good. 70 meters plus with a thermal, holding down the trigger and not missing shit. It is so good. I can't praise this gun enough. It's one of my favorite LMGs in the game. Like 100%. The DRS isn't an LMG, but it is S tier. It's going to be above the M4A1, not above the SVK. The SVK is just too strong. But DRS, because it's another laser beam of a weapon that feels and plays like an AR. This is another gun that probably needs a nerf. I'll take it back with the SVK thing. I think I'll put it above the AK-4D, actually. This is where I would put this. I don't actually believe it needs a nerf. I feel like the only thing it would need a nerf in is its recoil. I feel like there's not enough recoil. DRS on the engineer is very strong. DRS on AR, like on assault, is also really strong. Imagine flanking with a gun as capable as this. It's disgusting. And it works on 3 to 4 different, like every class except for recon, essentially. Like, this is a great gun in the game, and it definitely belongs up there as opposed to some of the other LMGs. We're glancing over it because we all know it's so good. The KTS, on the other hand, I'll throw that right above the SL9. KTS is gonna go right above the SL9 in B tier, just because it is a more accurate version of what the SOR could never. There you go. Raise the curtain. We did it. We did it. We picked where the KTS belongs. I feel like people really struggle at figuring out where the KTS belongs, which I just did. Because I can't tell, like I couldn't tell the difference, but because it shoots so straight and it obviously has the 5 damage range model where it's not going to fall off, and it is consistently like doing that. If you play around how the weapon is built, what the weapon is built for, then the gun's going to be good. The only problem is that it's one of the slowest firing guns in the game, making it like effectively useless in the close range. against every other gun in the game. But it's just so good, it seems like, at doing the one thing it's made for, which is far range engagements, that makes it that good. So it's going to be B tier for multiplayer. On to the M240L, which is my personal pick for for the best LMG in the game. And that is going to be high A tier. Probably one of the better A tier weapons in the game. I can't put it S because it's basically the TR7. Same thing with the M60. M240L is just really good in the close range, and its reload speed isn't that slow to me because I like using the just the 50 belt fed hanging off the gun. I don't need a lot of ammo because I don't use LMGs the way LMGs are intended, for suppressing fire, for doing all these other things. I use them to kill, and this thing fucking kills. It's plain and simple. It kills. 10 points for 75 rounds. That's, yeah, exactly. 600 RPM. It's hands down the best LMG in the game when you're looking at LMGs. Ignoring the DRS here. Yes, that's why the DRS is an S tier, because it's in its own world. You can do a lot with the M240L, which is why it is the highest it can go in A tier. And it's effective close, it's effective far, it's effective at medium range, very good at medium range. Mainly better than its sweet spot in like the 20 meter range. It's better 20 meters out just because of how much damage it actually does. It says it doesn't have that good precision, but the bloom, when you use it, you actually notice it feels a lot better than it looks. It's stat wise. And going forward, it's just good. Like, it belongs there. It definitely belongs there. The L110 is just a safe pick. Smack it right in the middle of the SMGs. It is the middle of A tier. It's gonna go into B tier. I lied. It's a B tier gun. It's the all-arounder that is less effective than the other LMGs that are in the A tier. I have to put it in B tier. It's a high B tier gun because it does everything right, but not great. It's a fun, and it's very well balanced. Yes, it's a fun gun. You can't beam people across the map with a thermal on it like you can with the M250. You can't just absolutely shit on someone in the close range if you didn't actually like aim in first. You have to be there. You have to be ready. It is the LMG. Like, if you were to take in the fucking definition out of the dictionary of an LMG, it would just be a picture of the L110. But yeah, low A, but that's also why I have it in high B, because in my head, high B means B plus, almost A. And then we're gonna move on to our last three LMGs. I thought this was our final one. Whoops. M123K is high A. It's high A tier. I'd say it is right above the M250 and right under the M433, because this gun's a fucking laser beam of an LMG. It has its downfalls where it doesn't necessarily keep up with a lot of other guns in the game in the close range, but if you use this gun from medium to far range, perfect LMG for that. Yeah, it's the M433 turned into an LMG, but it's heavy, its reload is janky, and it takes kind of a while to ADS. And yeah, you could put on a build where it's like super fast to ADS, but I don't think it's as optimal as the M240L in the close range. And at far range, it's not as good as the M250. We're going to move that a little bit. My bad. I thought the M250 was in front of it, but it is a very good choice and definitely above some of the other LMGs in the game. And then we're going to move over to the M60. The M60 is basically like the AK-4D and the M240L. The problem is its reload time is ridiculous. I think it's the highest in the game. And it won't even tell you how fucking long the reload time actually is. And it has a lot more bloom than the M240L. 7.3 seconds at 100 rounds. Yeah. So it is not better than the M240, but it also has the 20 meter 3-shot range like the AK-4D, the M240, and itself, and the TR7. So it can do that really well. The only problem is it's very heavy and you notice it, and it's very slow. I necessarily can't really put this lower because it's very good. It's a very good gun. The RPK belongs right up here, right next to the M123K, because the RPK is very good at long distance, medium distance, and that's about it. I know it has the 33 damage criteria around it, and it can be good, and it is good in the close range, but the damage fall off on it is so awkward that if you're not consistently fighting at longer ranges, it's just not that good. You can build this gun almost like an AR simply because it's designed, you know, it's literally just a modified AK. Realistically, the RPK is a better version of the M123K because it's effective at every range in the game. The only problem is its muzzle velocity makes it a pain in the ass to use it far away. I'm done talking about it. I get PTSD when I talk about it. So we're done with the LMGs. I'm done. I'm happy. We're good. We're going to move on to the shotguns now. And the shotguns are going to be easy to talk about. The M87 is the best shotgun in the game. No questions asked. But the M87, because it's a very versatile weapon, you can put slugs on it and make it a sniper. You can slam people away at close range like it's nothing. It's the most consistent, aside from the M10 in the game for shotguns. It's a very solid choice. And obviously, pump actions are like the go-to. With slugs, this thing is phenomenal. It's a 2-shot kill at very far ranges, and it's very fun to use, and I recommend trying that. This shotgun, I love this shotgun. It's my go-to, my comfort shotgun. It belongs in S tier. It is the best one. And then we're going to move on to the M1014. I just call it the M1014. I don't know what it's actually called. This guy belongs in very, very high A tier, around the SMGs and the other LMGs, because this gun is basically the pump action, but less consistent. And you also get the added bonus of shooting twice. If you're within a specific range, it is a 1-shot kill, but usually you have to shoot them twice with it, which doesn't make it S tier. But yeah, the M1014 belongs right here. The pump's better because it's more consistent, and it's better at farther ranges. The M10 is a very close range shotgun. That's why. I've killed people in 2 shots without slugs, 40 meters plus, with the 87, as opposed to the M10 basically falling off like a truck hit it post 20 meters. And then the Saiga. The Saiga is just a fun middle of the road shotgun that can't 1-shot, and it is a 2-shot kill, which is why it's in B tier. And it has a better fire rate and better damage model than this piece of shit, even though it's basically the same thing. It just gives you the freedom of firing as fast as you want. We're done. We're moving on to snipers, our final category. And we're going to start it off with technically the best one in the game, even though it got nerfed, the Mini Scout. The Mini Scout belongs in S tier because of its mobility and its ability to be the best sniper in the game. Its fire rate's fast. It has the best muzzle velocity. You're hitting people in the head, so the damage number doesn't even matter. Yeah, the gun is just criminal. This gun has been dissected so much, I feel like I don't really have to say much about it. It is hands down the best sniper in the game. The M20 ESR, M2010 ESR, is another solid sniper that I would put right next to it, because it's basically the same thing, except it doesn't come with an ADS bolt, and it shoots slightly slower now. After the nerf, it is slightly slower, but it is basically the same gun. The SV98 I'm gonna put in high B tier because it is very slow to fire. You need a lot of patience when it comes to this gun. You can aggressive snipe with it, no problem. You can aggressive snipe with every gun in the game, no problem, except for the PSR. As long as you put the ADS bolt on, you can aggressively snipe and do fine. The reason why this is in B tier and not A tier is because this gun doesn't have a flash hider, and you need to get to like level 30 or something like that before you even get a suppressor on it, which makes you a painted target everywhere on the map, making it the worst sniper in the game. It's middle B tier. The PSR is going to be high B tier because you get the flash hider. You get what you want out of the SV98, but on a gun that has the better attachments to make it safer to use. For me, because this gun has a better attachment choice, even though these guns are almost identical, with the sweet spot being better on the SV98, I still don't think it's better than the PSR, because the PSR gets a flash hider early on. You can actually play with it like a sniper. You don't have to feel like everyone can see you on the map, and I just think it's effectively way better. So that is my tier list. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the tier list. If I did a good job, if you want to see me do one for RedSec, eventually I will get around to playing enough RedSec to actually know what's good. And if you want another one of these around when season 2 comes around, I will be more than happy to test all the new guns and kind of give my input on what I think the new weapons are going to be like and what they are, and how good they are. And then I could, depending on nerfs and buffs, also make another tier list for you guys. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And if anyone has any ideas of what kind of video they want me to see, I will definitely do them in the future or within the week. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you watched to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, that has been my tier list for every weapon in Battlefield 6 from launch to now. After mastering everything, I have to say I'm pretty satisfied with the game. I'm still working on vehicles, but God, it is a nightmare for those who care, and for those who don't, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye. In the game, I have no footage of this gun because I just refused to use it. I don't even think it's in here. Oh, it's in here. Yes. This is the only F tier weapon in the game. The DB12 is the worst fucking thing they've ever thought of adding into this game.